Focusing on the framework a little bit more is an important concept to have in your mind when you're doing any type of case interview, especially when you're finishing up the framework. This is the key to really driving the case. You want to have a hypothesis, a key understanding of why that's your hypothesis, and a suggestion of what are the next steps in order to answer this question. Let's kind of demonstrate how that would work. So let's say you have a profitability problem where you're trying to figure out how to grow profits by 100 million. We're talking about a CPG company with 3 product lines, some new competitors, and new global expansion. So there's a few things going on here. When you're doing your framework, you should be constantly thinking, how am I going to address this profitability problem? It could be that I need to focus on one of my product lines more specifically because that will grow profits. It might mean that I need to enter a different market. It might mean that I need to do something to thwart my competition. In a case interview, what we typically see is it'll probably come down to product lines. It's pretty hard to address a competitive response in a case interview, but this might look into more like pricing than anything else. So when you see competition, you might think about pricing. Product lines is more about focusing on one of the other. That's usually what these cases boil down to. When we talk about expansion, we're really trying to say which region we should focus on. It's just a rule of thumb. It won't apply it 100%. But I've given you some 3 different places this case could go. And when I say product lines, I mean kind of picking which quantity how to change the quantity of my production to grow profit. Here would be pricing, and this would be picking among several regions. So there's a lot going on here, and the case could really go any of these directions. But if you follow this framework, hypothesis, why, and next steps, it should be a foolproof way that you can address any profitability problem, any market problem, 100% of the time. How this works is you figure out, to address my problem, my objective here, what's my hypothesis? Which of these items should I explore first? Which one do I think will answer the question of how to improve profits? Let's say I think it's going to be the product line thing. And I really want to say that hair care is where I might think in my head, hair care is where I want to go. I don't say that out loud yet. I don't have enough information to justify that. But I might say something like, my hypothesis is that we should explore the revenue and profits for each of the product lines in order to better understand which we could explore further. And so to do that, I was wondering if we have any additional information about our various product lines and their associated profits. What I did there is I said, what's my hypothesis? I think it's going to be this first bucket. I would like to explore this first. Why? It's because I think that will help me answer the problem at hand. And to do that, I need to ask for something specific. I have some piece of information in my head about what I want to explore. That's the profits. This will guide you through the framework.